Kev G with a weather overview, and we have an Ermine update, and she is going to be the queen of mean, Ermine, over the next 48 to 72 hours. She is going to wreak havoc on our weather, especially if you live near the coast. If you live inland, this is not a big storm at all. Don't go shopping. Don't go crazy if you live up in, New City, New York, because it's just not going to happen up there. You're going to get cloudy, windy days with periods of maybe isolated showers, just as an example. But 10 to 20 miles inland, this is not a big deal. On the coast, including Long Island and the 5 boroughs, this is a big deal. So we'll get to it. It's a big deal in the sense that it's going to cause a lot of coastal flooding over 2 to 4 successive high tide cycles. So that's impressive. I mean, even if it's not the strongest storm in the world, for a storm to be able to do that for such a long duration is very significant. So here it is off of Intellicast.com. Ermine has just crossed the North Carolina Outer Banks, and she is going to slowly propagate north over the next 48 to 72 hours and sort of really get roadblocked in the Atlantic. She will be able to regain some intensification as she does this over the next couple days. So here was the Hurricane Center last night. Here's the Hurricane Center tonight. And this is kind of ominous because now we're further west. And this is something that I did worry about. And it is a concern because the models are actually further west than the Hurricane Center's track. So the Hurricane Center is now playing the middle of the road. And, they're trying to just really digest all the data that they can. And in so doing, they're playing the middle. And I think that given that what we've seen over the last 24 hours, we have to be a little more concerned with strong winds. So we know about the storm surge threat. This is off of meteorologist Joe Chaffee, who showed this last night. And this only covers through September 4th, folks. We're going to have surge into the 5th, into a good part of Monday. It's definitely during the morning high tide cycle. Now, this is where I think the strongest winds are going to be, not an official forecast, but I think if you live from Belmar, New Jersey, south, you need to prepare for hurricane conditions for this time period, simply because if the storm does come any further west, you are going to be in that belt of 60 to 70 knot wind potential with the gusts. Now out on Long Island, I'm still thinking that it's 40, 50, but I mean I could see a gust along the south shore to 60 miles an hour easily now, especially with the further west track. So it's something to be mindful of. I mean, if it did come further west, the wind field would expand even more. But you can see farther inland, it's just not going to get there no matter what. This would take a drastic shift for strong winds to make it all the way back into the Hudson Valley or even into parts of New Jersey. And the same thing with the rainfall. We still have this conundrum of how far inland the rain is going to get. I think it's a safe bet that 2 to 4 inches fall on the New Jersey coast and the areas in red, 1 to 2 inches for the 5 boroughs, Connecticut, Long Island, the southern coast, and then dropping off drastically as you work your way in. And here's the problem. This is the European model from this afternoon, and this is what got everybody all hot and bothered, because you can see that meteorologist Joe Chaffee drew the line here, and he's tracing the path that the Euro model takes the storm in from Sunday through Monday. It's quite remarkable. It almost does like a loop. So this storm is throwing me for a loop. I don't know about you, but speaking of loops. Anyway, I will have an update in about 12 to 13 hours, and thank you for watching, and hopefully this information is proving useful to you, and I appreciate you tuning in.